Hello friends, we are in the latest episode of Transfer News. We are evaluating the agenda before the winter transfer period. Before we start the video, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you can subscribe now. By subscribing and liking the video, you give us the greatest support. Enjoy watching. Bayern will soon sit down with Joshua Kimmich for talks again. The player, whose contract runs until 2025, needs to make a decision this season whether to extend or be sold in the summer. The club wants to avoid him becoming a free transfer, regardless of the outcome. The midfielder is currently earning €20 million per year. His salary has steadily increased over the years, but the club's executives say there won't be a new salary raise. Currently, the highest paid player in the team is Harry Kane, who earns €5 million more than Joshua Kimmich. Bayern is not lenient on this matter and may let Kimmich go for an additional €5 million. They have a firm financial stance and a stubborn management style. Meanwhile, Bayern is focused on Kimmich, but they may also lose Leon Goretzka. He didn't have a good start with Thomas Tuchel, but he later became a valuable player. He was one of the indispensable players until his injury. Currently, Dortmund is closely monitoring his situation. If he decides to leave Bayern, they want to make an offer on the same day. The German star has 3 more years on his contract. Dortmund will have to pay a transfer fee. Lewandowski has another year and a half left on his contract with Barcelona. However, next summer, Xavi is considering parting ways with him. The Polish striker could transfer to Saudi Arabia or the American League. Instead of him, everyone is talking about Alvarez, but Xavi has his eye on Gabriel Jesus as well. They will look for ways to acquire him from Arsenal in the most cost-effective manner. Meanwhile, it is rumored that Real Madrid has also put him on their agenda. Arsenal may have difficulty in keeping their striker. Jesus doesn't want to leave England before winning the league title. However, conditions and ideas may change. Real Betis made the first transfer of the season. Socrates will now be playing in La Liga. On the last day of the transfer window, they sold their defender Luis Felipe to Saudi Arabia. By acquiring Socrates, they have filled his position. Known for his speed, former key player of an era, Douglas Costa, left MLS at the age of 33. The player, who departed from Los Angeles, released a statement through Romano. "I would really like to return to Juventus. It's my dream to be an Allegrino player again and feel the love of the Juve fans once more. My agent is in contact with all interested teams, including Juve," he said. "We will also be flying to Saudi Arabia. That league is growing," he added. Nico Williams will be available on a free transfer in June. The 21-year-old Spanish player has not yet signed a new contract with Athletic. Of course, he will be the center of interest for many teams. If they were to pay a transfer fee, it could be around 80 to 90, maybe even more. However, now the deal could be settled with just the signing bonus. Apart from Premier League teams, Real Madrid also has an interest. Ancelotti's team doesn't want to miss out on this young star. It's truly a great opportunity that teams shouldn't miss out on. Kepa wants to stay at Real Madrid. Real Madrid had their first meeting with Chelsea regarding his transfer fee. The Spanish goalkeeper believes he will compete with Courtois even if he returns. "Am I staying at Real Madrid? Of course, yes. I still want this, but now is not the time to negotiate it. I can say that the 3 months I've spent here have been very positive, but the season is long, and we will evaluate it at the end of the season," he said. Real Madrid wants to make an offer for Alphonso Davies in the summer. Imagine Davies behind Vinicius. I think Real Madrid will have the strongest left side in the world. It is rumored that Real Madrid will make their first offer for the 22-year-old Canadian with €15 million. Negotiating with Bayern is a tough task. Moreover, it won't be easy for them to sell a key star. Saudi Arabian teams are looking to allocate a higher budget for transfers in the upcoming season. This could lead to an even more extravagant transfer period. Al Ahly is planning to offer €200 million to Real Madrid for Vinicius. However, Madrid is absolutely not in favor of selling. While the figures may be staggering, that is not their intention. Vinicius Jr. is constantly subjected to racism in Spain. They keep doing it persistently. The opponents change, but the racism continues. In the recent match against Sevilla, even young children made monkey gestures, displaying racism towards him. They allow the Spanish society to be known worldwide as a racist society. This is the worst for Spain. By the way, the Saudis have also set their sights on Kevin De Bruyne and are closely monitoring his situation. If he wants to leave City, they are prepared to offer him everything he desires. His biggest dream is to play alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. He had stated this before. The Belgian player has a contract with City until 2025. Al Nassr is ready to make an offer of €70 million. His move to Saudi Arabia would be more valuable than many other players. By the way, their squad would be a disaster in a good way. If it happens, they would have one of the top 2 to 3 squads in the world. Talisca, Mane, Ronaldo, and Kevin De Bruyne like the Galacticos. Klopp talked about Gravenberch. He's a perfect guy, the best transfer. He's really a good player. I'm very happy for him. His first touch is incredible. He's very good in tight spaces. He can still develop himself. He's still very young. There's a lot he can do, he said. I'm absolutely pleased with him. The Dutchman is only 21 years old. They only paid €40 million for him. Liverpool fans are also happy, saying, "We officially robbed Bayern Munich." The Premier League leader, Tottenham, has set its sights on Feyenoord's striker Santiago Jimenez. The Mexican has been on a goal-scoring spree in the new season so far, netting 15 goals in 11 matches. While there are rumors linking him with Real Madrid, Tottenham's interest is more prominent. After finishing as the top scorer in the Eredivisie, the player may sign with Tottenham. Manchester United is in talks to bring back their former goalkeeper David De Gea, due to Andre Onana's participation in the Africa Cup of Nations. They do not have confidence in Altai and brought him in as a backup goalkeeper, but they say that despite praising his training performance, it is not sufficient. They are pursuing a short-term 6-month contract with David De Gea. Sergio Guirassy has scored 14 goals in 8 matches in the Bundesliga this season, putting on a performance worthy of a world-class player in Stuttgart's jersey. Last year, Füllkrug became the Bundesliga top scorer with 16 goals. Guirassy has already scored 14 goals in just 8 weeks, and it seems like he will surpass that soon. It is said that the release clause for the Guinean player is only €17.5 million. He's invaluable for teams in need of a striker. Fulham, who hasn't been able to replace Mitrovic, is already interested and has expressed their willingness to make an offer to Stuttgart for this amount in January. We are expecting Lazar Samardzic to be Juventus's first transfer. The 20-year-old midfielder has become one of the shining stars of Serie A and negotiations have already begun with Udinese. The player is positive about the move. They are looking for a loan agreement with a purchase option. If this is approved, a preliminary agreement can be signed. Meanwhile, some fans are against this transfer. Lazar Samardzic had turned down Inter in the last transfer window. The criticisms made are as follows. Juventus has no transfer plan. They only criticize their own team for copying others. We don't want someone who initially preferred Inter and only came to Juventus because there were no other offers. This is another comment made about the Samardzic transfer. It has been reported that Juventus was the first team to make an offer for Sancho. This is encouraging news. Despite his poor performance and limited playing time, he still has a market. However, Juventus is not their first choice. Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic have directly contributed to almost 90% of Juventus's goals since the beginning of the season, either through goals or assists. Both of them are highly valuable and the team's superstars. Juventus is trying to extend the contract with the 26-year-old Chiesa, whose current deal expires in 2025. In my opinion, United must make Sancho their main target. After years of unsuccessful transfers, it's a tough test for the United management. If Juventus wants Sancho, they should let him go and acquire Chiesa. That would be a real success. Napoli is denying the rumors that Osimhen will leave in January. Chelsea is like a hunter, constantly tracking its prey. They are keeping a close eye on him and will try to make a move in January. The Christopher Nkunku tactic is on the agenda. They will propose to sign him in January and let him stay at Napoli until the end of the season. Ivan Toney is also one of the candidates for them. However, they prefer to wait for Osimhen in January rather than signing him. Inter closed last year with a record profit. Excluding transfer revenue, they earned a staggering €70 million just from Brozovic and Onana. Apart from them, they generated a total revenue of €425 million. They may not have won Serie A, but even reaching the Champions League final was enough to set a record. In terms of transfers, Marcus Thuram, who arrived on a free transfer, is performing wonders. Undoubtedly, one of the best transfers so far. They only paid €8 million in signing bonus. It's a very solid transfer from a financial perspective. The new contract negotiations for Lautaro Martinez and Di Marco are still ongoing. Both players have expressed their desire to stay with Inter to the management. Progress is slow in this regard, but we are expecting them to reach a conclusion. We anticipate next year to be the transfer year for Alessandro Battoni. He loves Inter, but now he has to make career plans. Transfer champions Chelsea are going to make another defensive signing. The first name they will approach and make an offer for is Battoni. Many teams have tried to sign him until now. Let's see if Pochettino's team can succeed. Hakan Calhanoglu garnered interest from several Saudi teams this summer, but Inter believes that the Turkish star is not for sale. Therefore, the offers were not considered. Inter Miami coach Gerardo Martino revealed that they are also interested in Luis Suarez. "We have an analysis on Suarez based on our plans for next season and the needs we may have. We also have an analysis without Suarez. When it's time to formalize Suarez's situation at Inter Miami, we will do what is necessary," he said. Messi was also mentioned when he was first transferred. "I believe that in the new season, Suarez will reunite with his friend Messi from Barcelona. It's not just Suarez, there's also interest in Modric from Real Madrid, and Beckham is personally involved. The Croatian star is ready to go as soon as he says, 'I'm leaving Real Madrid.' It will be quite challenging for other teams in America next season, as Inter Miami is turning into a constellation of stars." Galatasaray is set to make an offer for Tielemans, who is expected to leave Aston Villa. The Yellow-Red team had considered him previously, but the player did not want to move to Turkey. Tielemans is back on the agenda. It was certain that he would leave Aston Villa a week ago. However, with each passing day, this situation is becoming more difficult. Last week, Tielemans was selected as the player of the match in the Conference League against AZ Alkmaar. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.